Ladies and gentlemen, it's time for another episode of Mind Your Puckin' Business with your host, Jeffrey Krensman.
Good morning. Good morning. How are you?
Good morning. How are you?
I am good. Welcome to the first episode of 2021 for the Mind Your Puckin' Business podcast. We wish you all a Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
Wherever you're tuning into this week, wherever you're tuning in from, I should say.
Yes.
And so we, as always, are coming to you from the beautiful studios here of Undefeated Media in Bergen County, New Jersey.
Thank you.
Now we don't have snow here anymore. It kind of went away, right?
For the time being.
We were complaining for a while. We had it. So welcome to the program. As I said, we wish you a Happy New Year. We hope the holiday season was good. And we embark on episode number 20 for us.
Ooh, do you know what that is?
I'm going to say it. Viente.
Close. V's or B's. So it's Vente.
Vente. Okay. See. So my wife... I shouldn't say this, but my wife has a friend, and I know he listens to the show, so I'm going to hear about this. He teaches Spanish for a living. It's what he does. And he said listening to me say the Spanish words on this program, it hurts his ears.
It's like nails on a chalkboard.
Yes, I could totally understand why. So this is episode 20. As always, we thank you for the support as we turn the calendar here in a new year. And one thing that does remain the same here is you can reach us at any time via email at mypbshow.com. You can also listen to the program on Facebook, YouTube, Spotify, and iTunes. So you've got like 4 choices. I think there's a few other things out there, but you can get to us. If you want to get to us, you can find us.
Yes, absolutely.
And we will be probably, I'm going to assume, getting some additional traffic and additional questions with the NHL season starting next week, finally. The official season starts on the 13th of January. The New York Rangers, which is a big focus on this program, start the day after, coincidentally on my birthday, on January 14th. So for my birthday this year, I get Ranger hockey back. It's pretty cool. Nice. I don't need anything else. But we are going to start with a kind of a cool announcement. We're going to do a special New York Ranger preview show next week on the 13th. So the way that this is going to work is Dougie Sticks and I are going to eat our Wheaties. We are going to be extra geared up next week because we're going to do 2 shows. We're going to do our regular weekly episode of the Mind Your Puckin' Business podcast. And we will also throw in a bonus episode, and we will have guests. That will not be a show that Dougie Sticks and I do solo. We'll have other people on.
Panel. Don't forget my jersey.
I will not forget. I'll make sure it's washed and clean. We will have
no COVID, please.
No, please. We're free of that. Knock on wood. That's probably was a bad jinx right there. But any event. So we will do that. We will have a special guest on. I'm not sure which way. We have a couple invitations out there. We have a couple people interested. I've got to decide here in the next couple of days who we're going to be, but I can promise you there will be some other people on the show because there have been plenty of people who have asked to come on the show.
Nice.
Let's start with a little bit of hockey, and then we're going to transition. And we do have a guest coming on today. I totally recommend you stick around for this. This is going to be an interesting one today.
Nice.
But in any event, with hockey, as I said, the season starts next week. Training camps have opened. So we are now at a point where all 31 teams have their training camps opened. There will be no preseason because of COVID. There's no reason to do unnecessary travel and go play other teams. So what teams are doing is they're kind of promoting these inner squad scrimmages where teams are playing their own team, splitting in half. And some teams like the New Jersey Devils locally have done a good job of broadcasting that for their fans to watch. So it will all come back next week. And again, the preview show will be live next Wednesday. Probably, knowing us, I would guess late morning, but the time to be determined based on the guest. So stay tuned for that. We will have hockey picks. We will have a major Ranger focus to the show for sure, especially with our guest. But I will try and do some other teams as well. I've been asked to kind of give some insight onto some other teams. So it's a little bit uncomfortable for me, but
because everyone else stinks.
Well, right. The Rangers are the only good team in the league, right? It's typical. No, so we will do that. And so, yes, next week. Thank you, Dougie Sticks. Everyone else is the worst. We will do that on the show. So shifting to the NFL, because we only have a couple weeks of it left, and our guest that's going to come on later is an NFL-themed guest, and it is an interesting one, so you may want to stay tuned for this. Let's start here. We can get into the picks, and I have a lot to say about the picks. I know on the Instagram we kind of did something yesterday to announce about what the pick news is, and we'll get there. But let's talk with the really like this massively controversial thing from the league this weekend. And Dougie Sticks now is like getting a little fired up. I can see it.
Yes.
So let me recap what happened in case anybody that's listening to the podcast or some of you that listen to it in other countries may not have seen what happened. The New York Giants played the Dallas Cowboys early on Sunday, and the winner of that game would be in line to win the NFC East and go to the playoffs if the Philadelphia Eagles won at night. So the New York Giants defeated the Cowboys at 1:00 in what wasn't totally, we won't even get into it because it doesn't matter, a brutal game to watch. Like I watched it and it was like, oh my God, it was just terrible. But that's not really the point. So the Giants win, and now we go into Sunday Night Football, and
they played their heart outs.
They did
win.
They did, just for you, Dougie Sticks. So the Giants win, and the Giants now need the Philadelphia Eagles to beat the Washington Football Team, and if they do, the Giants go to the playoffs.
Yeah.
Philadelphia, though, has already been eliminated from the playoffs a couple weeks prior, so really they don't have a lot on the line. So the game starts out, Washington is up real quickly. I want to say it was 10-0, and it just didn't even look like Philly was even going to play, which, Washington was a 6.5-point favorite. I think there are some people that are forgetting this. So Washington was supposed to win the game by about a touchdown on the road. So the game ends up getting close. Philadelphia comes back. Washington takes the lead again. And the coach of the Philadelphia Eagles, Doug Peterson, decides late in the game, as the team has the ball, to really win the game and then in turn send the Giants to the playoffs and knock out Washington, to pull his starting quarterback, Jalen Hurts, for a backup quarterback who hasn't played. Now, everybody goes ballistic, right? Oh my God, they're playing to lose. Why would you do that? I get it. I'm going to take a little bit of a different stance than I think most people think I'm going to take, because we're
going to fight today. Good.
Well, it's good. We can have an open-ended debate. I do not like, and I'm going to say this, just total honesty. I'm an honest guy. I hate anything Philadelphia, right? But I'm going to be honest here because I need to do this. The New York Giants, I finished the season now, if I'm not mistaken, it's 7-9, right? Are they 7-9, or they may even be 6-10? Yeah, because
they would have been 6-10. They would have been they would have been 7-9 if they.
I believe
now they're 6-10.
Yeah, the Giants are 6-10. Okay, so and I'm confirming this here on the computers on the screen in the studio. The Giants go to 6-10, and as a result, they don't make the playoffs.
Okay.
But they shouldn't make the playoffs at 6-10. I mean, you've had so many chances to win other games that it's driving me a little bit.
Not why I'm mad, but okay.
No, not why you're mad. Now, and I get that Philadelphia didn't try. Now, what I agree with most people is that Philadelphia, and I'm going to just turn my page to show Dougie Sticks something real quick on the side.
Great.
I'm just showing you this. So
we're still good.
We're still good.
Yes.
So the issue that I have is that yes, Philadelphia didn't play, but Philadelphia at that point is if they want to try other players, if they want to try to get a better draft pick, should they be doing this? No, but it's the league's fault that this is set up. The NBA on the other side of it does what's right. And as a Knicks fan, it's annoying because the Knicks always get screwed, where just because where you finish is not where you are in the draft. Right. So if you finish worse, like the Knicks, I believe in the NBA, the bottom three teams get kind of a certain odds.
It was a huge thing last year with Zion.
With Zion, which the Knicks didn't win. Exactly. So to me, it's the sort of thing that, yes, it's annoying. And if you're a Giant fan, you have a right to be annoyed because it's painful to root for Philadelphia. And this is the one time you did it. But the Giants finished 6-10. And lastly, and then I'll turn it over to you for your opinion. The winner of this game, whoever was going to get to the playoffs, the Giants or Washington, is staring at Tom Brady this weekend. They're not going to win. So Washington, who wins the division, is now an 8.5-point underdog at home. So that should tell you about their chances. The Giants, if you remember, earlier in the fall, played this Tom Brady team at home and got wiped out. And Buccaneers offense right now is clicking. So it's not even a situation like, what is the point of winning? You weren't going to win this week. This is not a Super Bowl team.
Mm-hmm.
You were 6-10 to begin with. I mean, I understand if you were 13-3 or something, but and maybe you would have had a first round matchup. Dougie Sticks, the floor is all yours.
Which all those points help the pain, like help ease the pain. It's not like it's not like we were a good team and we were going to win the Super Bowl. Granted, but as an Eagles fan now, your whole team, Doug Peterson, this is towards you. Your entire team doesn't trust you anymore. Doesn't want to play with you anymore, is not going into the trenches for you anymore. They had the camera on Jalen Hurts half the game while he's sitting on the sidelines, and you can read his mouth. This isn't right. This isn't right. I don't like this. I don't like this. Carson Wentz wants to trade. He wants to get out of there. Jalen Hurts now, like he doesn't like the players came out and sat in the field at the end of the game, and we're all talking like they, regardless of how you feel as a Giant fan, now the Eagles have a huge problem.
That's true. Yes. Now the Carson Wentz thing has been going on. So yes, that's nothing new. You're right. The Jalen Hurts apparently was not thrilled that he got pulled, and I don't blame him.
Plays to win.
Plays to win. But the
third quarter too, by the way, end of the third. People keep saying the beginning of the fourth. Is the end of the third quarter? They were down by 3 points, and he throws him in. If you want to put this kid in, like you shouldn't even be thinking about it until like the last 5 minutes of the game.
I'm just saying. My point is the Giant fans that are upset. And look, it would have been cool for the Giants to win. It would have been really cool as we're all in this kind of stay-at-home stuff that we do right now, to have a New York Giants playoff football game on primetime on Saturday night. I get it. The odds of them winning on Saturday night would be slim to none, and say that slim happened and they won and then they went to the next round the following week and played at Green Bay, they'd get slaughtered. So if you're the Giants, you know what? Take second place. Yeah, it's 6 wins. Now hear me out. Now, okay, so now in second place, you have a better draft pick than if you had won the division, right? And secondly,
eases the pain. But
wait, here's the other thing you got to remember: the way football works, you now have an easier schedule next year because you're playing the NFC's second place schedule versus the first place schedule. So now next year you're not playing Green Bay, you're not playing all the Seattle, you're not playing all the division winners across the league. You had 6 wins. I get it; it's annoying, and what Philly did wasn't right. But get mad at the league. Don't get. I mean,
I hear you. I'm with you on all those points. But it was blatantly, it was a blatant, like, it wasn't like the Jets versus the Raiders where they went to man coverage on the last play of the game, Hail Mary.
And the funny thing about that,
make it look like you're trying.
Yeah. And the funny thing about that is the Jets actually tried at the end of the day to win. Like, it looked genius at the time, that man coverage. We were like, great, thank goodness. Why would they win? But now they ended up winning 2 games. So it was just pure stupidity. It wasn't even trying to tank. It just was stupidity. Yeah. What would you expect? So the Jets organization will say one thing about it is, now that they fired Adam Gase, which is certainly no surprise. We were telling you it would happen here on the program, but that's not because we have any inside sources, because we like to think we know a little bit about sports. It'll be interesting to see where they go with a coach. Black Monday, which was yesterday, as it's called in the NFL, is always the first Monday, the day after the last day of the regular season, where coaches get canned, and there were a lot of them in the league. And when you look at the kind of hot commodity coaches that are out there this year, there's none there that get me. If you're a Jet fan, I don't think there's any out there that get you like super duper stoked. Maybe
we're talking Urban Meyer.
Urban Meyer, though, from what it sounds like, if he's going to go anywhere, is going to Jacksonville. I think he has some affiliation there, and he can work with Trevor Lawrence. So that's because they have the first pick, and that's who they're going to take. The Jets, here's the other thing. Other than the fact you play in the New York market, I mean, and that comes with the problems also as a coach because it's the pressure. There's not a lot of assets. Like, you're trying to sell them on Sam Darnold. I mean, I'm not sold on that. Or you're going to tell whatever coach you bring in here, okay, with the second or, the second pick, you can have your choice of who you're going to take, but you're starting over. So I don't know. There's no coach. And, like the one big name in the names is Jim Harbaugh from Michigan. Mm-hmm. And that doesn't even get me that excited. Like, maybe 5 years ago it would have, when he was as hot, a lot of buzz about him. But now, I don't. Now it's just not a big thing. So That's where we are, and we move on to the wild card weekend. Now, there was a very small change that the NFL did, and this happened all during coronavirus, so people didn't pay attention to it, and you're going to reap the benefits of it this weekend, by the way. The NFL added, instead of taking 6 playoff teams, they decided to change it this year and take 7.
Nice.
And what happens now, really where the benefit is this weekend, because this weekend in the first round of the playoffs, normally you would have 4 games all weekend. Now we get 6. So that is, you got excited. Now you got something to watch this weekend.
So last year, where they make up that team in the bye? There's another bye.
There's a bye.
One team
gets a bye. So now the top seed has a bye.
But last year,
2, it would be 1 and 2. So 3 last year, the way it would work is 1 and 2 would get a bye. 3 would play 6, 4 would play 5, and then you're down to 4 teams. This year they did it where 1 has a bye, 2 plays 7, 3 plays 6, 4 plays 5, and then you're left again with 4 teams left in each conference. Gotcha. So it's really it kind of was a good move, and because if for any reason we get extra football this weekend, which I think is awesome. Yeah. Which look, in the playoffs we'll take it any way we can get it. So we were going into week 17. We were very happy last week because we had a 9-7 record, and we said, you know what? Whatever we do this weekend, win or lose, we're going to have won you money because we were either going to go 10-7 or we were going to go 9-8. And I felt good knowing that if you listen to us and you bet with us, you would have made money. We did our job. Yeah. And then out of nowhere, when you least expect it, when they say you look for things when you least expect it. Now we have a perfect week. We were 5-0.
Nice.
I am very proud of our week 17. Thank you for the applause here in the studio. I was very shocked by this, but so we will finish the year 10-7, 10 weeks up, 10 winning weeks, 7 losing weeks. And here was our perfect recap, actually. We had the Giants plus 2.5 against the Cowboys. The Giants won that game outright. I said last week the Steelers were getting 10 at Cleveland. It was way too many points. I understand that Big Ben was not going to play, but Cleveland never, ever blows out Pittsburgh, and they didn't. And Pittsburgh almost tied it late on a 2-point conversion. So we won on that. The 49ers plus 6 versus the Seahawks. Now, we in some ways, we should have lost this game. I'm going to be fair, but we won. The Seahawks scored with about a minute and a half left to go up 10. So I was actually following this game. I'm like, we lost it. We went 4-1. But somehow Seattle scored like a backdoor cover, which works out for us. So we'll take that. And the Rams minus 1.5 home versus Arizona won. That was an easy one. And the Patriots minus 5 versus the Jets was a good win as well. So we finish week 17 with a perfect week, and we are going to try to go into the playoffs now where the money is double and everything gets really important, and do it again. So here's what we're going to do for the playoffs. In the regular season, we would always pick 5 games and 5 games only. Now, since there's 6 this weekend, we're going to take all 6. You cool with that?
Absolutely.
Ready? But you know what? Put the pressure on. Let's go. You got to pick them all. All right. So, all right. Here we go. The first game, and this is going to be a theme for our guest who's coming on in a couple minutes because I can see she's waiting. The Buffalo Bills on Saturday open up the playoffs at home versus the Indianapolis Colts, and they are giving 7.5. There's been, if anybody has listened to the show, there's no I don't need to put a disclaimer that I have a love for this Buffalo team this year, and I think they're really good. And, again, my wife went to college up there, has a lot of friends, and the Bills fan base is the best in football. The Bills should win. But 7.5 is a lot. So I'm going to take the Colts. I expect the Bills to win. They should, and I want them to. But 7.5 is a lot for a team. And, again, I like you, Buffalo, but it is a team that has not had a lot of recent playoff success. So if I can get the other team with a touchdown, and I will warn Bills fans of this, because if you watch the Colts this past weekend, Jonathan Taylor, who's going to be a high draft pick in fantasy football drafts last year, ran this weekend for 250 yards and 2 touchdowns. So if you're going to win this weekend, Buffalo, stop Jonathan Taylor, and I think they will. But I'm going to take the Colts getting 7.5. But again, I think Buffalo wins the game anyway. Just that's a lot of points
on Phillip Rivers' last game.
The Bills defense could absolutely. So if I'm wrong on this and the Bills cover, it's because the Bills defense manhandles Phillip Rivers. Big Philip Rivers can't run out of the pocket
he's
anymore.
Gonna blow his gasket.
Yeah, he's going to
lose his temper.
Yes,
and
exactly.
Fold.
Throw a helmet. Yes. So I want the Bills to win, but I'm going to take the Colts with the points. But I think the Bills will win. The other game, the next game on Saturday is the Seattle Seahawks -4.5 against the Rams. Hard one to pick here, but I'm going to go with the Seahawks. Look, if it's ever going to come together for them, they needed to start coming together now. And they're home, and they're playing a Rams team that's banged up. You should win, and you should win by more than 4.5. So give me the Seahawks -4.5.
I mean, the Jets beat the Rams, so I mean,
there you go. That's a ringing. That's a ringing endorsement. So the next game is, to me, like, and we don't do this on the show, but if I said like a best bet, Tampa Bay giving 8.5 at Washington. Tampa Bay could absolutely win by 40.
That's an easy.
Washington is not good. I understand Washington's home. The Buccaneers have playoff experience clearly with their quarterback, and their offense is clicking. And Washington could barely beat a Philadelphia team with their scrubs in, with their playoff lives on the line. We give credit in Washington, as we've done all season, to Ron Rivera and the job he's done, and he's been battling cancer. It is a remarkable story. But Tampa Bay giving 8.5, I will gladly give the 8.5 at Tampa Bay. This game may not even be close. And it was weird that they put this as the Saturday night primetime game, because you almost don't want to see a blowout in Saturday primetime. Mm-hmm. But I'm taking Tampa Bay. Then we go to Sunday. The first game, this is like a fool me once, shame on you kind of thing. Fool me twice, shame on you. The Titans are home getting 3.5. Was that what it is?
Fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me.
Did I not say that?
You did now.
Okay, thanks. You said it for me. My voice of reason in my life, Dougie Sticks. The Tennessee Titans last year beat the Ravens in the playoffs in Baltimore. Now they're home and they're getting 3.5. Why are they getting 3.5? They're getting 3.5 because the Ravens offense lately, in particular Lamar Jackson, has started to play better. And that's where the bettors are leaning. However, if Tennessee won last year in Baltimore in the same situation, why would I'm just not going to take the Ravens -3.5. The Titans have the best running back in the league and probably should be the MVP, although it sounds like it's going to Aaron Rodgers, but it should be Derrick Henry, because Derrick Henry's insane. Their offense has been firing. They scored 41 points this weekend, Tennessee, and I'm getting 3.5 at home versus a team that you beat a year ago, the same situation in their stadium. I'm taking Tennessee getting 3.5 at home. Baltimore can win, but 3.5, and I'm covered by more than a field goal. I'm taking Tennessee.
And Tannehill's been playing solid like every game.
Yes, he has.
Lamar is up and down.
He is.
Tannehill's straight solid all season.
If you get, and we probably won't happen because if I say it doesn't happen. But if you get a Lamar Jackson like off game this weekend, this is an easy game because Tennessee will win, and you're also getting points. So this spread is all going on Lamar going to have a good game. But I'm taking Tennessee +3.5. The next game is a real kind of weird situation. So the Saints are playing the Bears at 4:40, and that the Saints are getting the Bears are getting 9.5, as they probably should. But it's a little bit weird. Alvin Kamara, who's been their best player, tested positive for coronavirus. And if the league had scheduled this game on Saturday, he'd be ineligible to play. And they said if the game gets scheduled for Sunday, he will play, provided, of course, he tests negative.
Wow.
So the Saints are lucky that this game got scheduled. I mean, if you're Chicago, you're like, oh my goodness, why couldn't you put a 50-50 shot here? But the Bears offense has actually been decent. David Montgomery the last couple of weeks has been running the ball well. They still have some weapons. 9.5 in a playoff game is a lot. That's a lot of points. I'm taking the Bears +9.5 in New Orleans. And you never know. I mean, look, you don't want him to test positive again for COVID, but if Kamara does, or he doesn't have a clear test by then, he's out. And then you're getting you have a team getting 9.5 where against a team without their best player.
True, but sometimes they don't even use him.
They don't. You're right. But they also still don't have Michael Thomas, their top receiver.
True.
They haven't had all year. 9.5 is a lot. And the Saints are not going to have the home field advantage they normally have with the Superdome being wild and nuts.
True.
Because they're no fans. So, and the last game, the Sunday night game, is actually a really interesting game. If you like kind of in the trenches, football, physical, we hate you kind of thing, the Steelers and the Browns should be fun. The Steelers are giving 4.5 to the Browns. This game actually gave me the most trouble picking because you could see it either way, right? The Steelers always beat the Browns. It would be like a Super Bowl for Cleveland if they eliminated Pittsburgh. But the Steelers, rested Big Ben, so this is really hard to tell. I'm going to go with the Steelers giving 4.5 at home. I'm going to go on the notion, and why am I going to try to go against history, that anything with the playoffs, Cleveland doesn't show up and do well, and Big Ben and Mike Tomlin and those people in Pittsburgh are playoff tested and know what they're doing. So I'm going to take the Steelers minus 4.5. So the picks for the week, the Colts plus 7.5 at Buffalo. But again, I expect Buffalo to win. The Seahawks minus 4.5 home versus the Rams. Tampa Bay giving 8.5 at Washington. The Titans plus 3.5 versus Baltimore. The Bears plus 9.5 down in New Orleans in the Superdome on Sunday. And the last game, your Sunday night, when you may be footballed out, but you have one more, you have a physical AFC East game of teams that hate each other, and I'm taking the Steelers minus 4.5 versus the Browns. That good to you?
Sounds good to me. Looks like we're 1-0 in our playoff run here.
You like it. You like it. Good. I'm glad you're confident, because
buddy.
I am not always confident. But in any event, we shift gears as we keep with the football theme, and we are going to bring in our guest, and let's see if we can get this right here. And it's also, I need to make sure I pronounce this name right, because how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Good. So this is, now let me know if I'm saying this right, because I know you and I talked yesterday, and I was trying to make sure I got this right. Leale. Oh, I was close.
Yeah.
I was like 80% there. So this is Leale, and this is a really cool story. Last week, you made a video. And apparently, now that I've done some research, you had some fame before this, but I think this certainly helped. You made a video of your beloved Buffalo Bills, or I should say a rap. I should say a rap, actually, that kind of went viral in the world. And from what I saw, you had some pretty cool people responding it to you. Now, tell me a little bit about this rap that you do. You don't have to do it yet. We'll get to it, but tell me a little bit about it.
Yeah. So I've been writing music for a while and doing rap for a while. But this is my second Bills rap. Is there like an echo?
No, we can. I can hear you fine. We're good.
Okay. So this is like the second Bills song, and pretty much I did the first one in April just to get everyone hyped for the season, because everything that was going on with COVID, I feel like everyone was pretty down about everything, but we were prepared to have a pretty good season. So I did the first one kind of just to get everybody hyped up. I did pretty well on like Facebook and everything. And with the success that we did have predicted in my first rap, I decided to go again. And this one did really well on a lot of platforms. And I just really wanted to be able to connect with the community and bring to like what we've been doing.
Yeah, it's so I mean, it's really cool. What we're gonna do, we're gonna put up on the screen for those people watching on Facebook and YouTube. We're gonna put up your Instagram handle, which people can certainly watch it at. Now, do you live up near Buffalo?
Yeah, I'm actually in the southern tier, so I'm like an hour out, but only in New York, Western New York, a little south of Buffalo. But Dad was born and raised in Buffalo, and I used to play hockey up in Buffalo, so I'm above Buffalo.
Well, we say it on the show a lot, and it's true that the Buffalo Bills fans are the most loyal fans in football.
I went to school in Buffalo.
Oh, you did?
Crazy.
I didn't know that.
That's why. I went to school at Canisius. I don't know, Leale, if you know Canisius, but I went to school at Canisius for 3 years, and the Buffalo Bills fans are diehard fans. And when I was there, they weren't doing so good. So it's kind of interesting to see this whole program turn around.
Well, I know your age. So you were there a little bit after my wife. My wife went to Geneseo, which I'm sure you've also know, Leale. Your brother goes there. Cool. My wife will be happy to know that. So my wife would go to games, which was amazing because my wife hates the cold weather. But she told me that she used to go to games up there when she was up there, and the team was not as good as this now. I mean, right now, if you're a Buffalo Bills fan, the quarterback, Josh Allen, not only is he ridiculous, he's young. This whole team is young.
Yeah.
And that, like the look at the AFC East, right? The Jets are atrocious. We don't know when they're going to be good again. The Patriots are probably in the same boat. Miami's okay. But look at this past weekend. Buffalo played like a game they didn't really even need, and Miami had their lives on the line, and Buffalo dismantled them. So
Barkley and a lot of our like second, third stringers.
Exactly. So if you're a fan of the Buffalo Bills and the best fans in football, you are going to have a really good team for a long time.
Yeah.
And this weekend, and I don't know if you heard our picks, I think you were in the waiting room there. I am picking you to win. It's a lot of points, and I want you to win. But it's just we'll see here. Now it's the real stuff, and we'll see how you guys do in the playoffs. So tell me a little bit about now. You've got now full disclaimer, I don't do anything involved with TikTok at all. But it looked to me from the little bit we saw, you have a pretty big following there too. Is that right?
Yeah, that's kind of where I started. I have about 273,000 on TikTok. It never really started like that, but I kept producing music and it went over really well with TikTok and everything. I do remixes, verses over instrumentals, stuff like that, and it has gone over really well. And I've grown a pretty platform from it.
Very cool. Well, you have a really good following, and the Bills rap that you're going to do for us in a couple minutes. Now, I've seen it. It is so cool. I actually sent it to Dougie Sticks. Then I sent it to you last week, right?
Yeah.
To show him like a week ahead of time when we knew you were coming on. That I mean, it is just cool. So, what is before we get to the rap? Now, let's take the Homer bias Buffalo fan out of it. Where do you expect the Bills to be this year? Do you expect them to win the Super Bowl? Do you expect them to get to the Super Bowl? Like, what is your honest assessment of where Buffalo is going to go?
I mean, I'm always going to have that bias, but I see us going pretty far. I think besides the talent, I think we're really hungry. Like, it's a really hungry team because of the past and our not so good playoff experiences in the past couple of years. I think it's past the talent at this point. It's more of a hunger and a heart thing. So I could see us going pretty deep in the playoffs, Super Bowl, hopeful. I think second round is going to be a test. We either Browns or the Titans.
Yeah, you know what? The second round is hard to tell because it reseeds. So it's hard to tell who you're going to get. But whoever you get would be a challenge. You want to know a funny story? You'll be proud of this, actually. I do a weekly picks kind of thing with like 50 people, and you pick games every week. You have to pick 5 games with the spread. And so my wife joins it this year. And, I mean, she doesn't know as much about football as, let's say most people in the pool. She doesn't watch it or do fantasy football. But she picks Buffalo every single week, and there's one game that you can double up on. So it's like your ultra confident pick for double points. And she is killing it in this pool. She's like, I think 9 points off the entire lead and like over $1,000 solely because she takes Buffalo every single week because she went to Geneseo. She's ahead of me. So, I mean, who am I to talk? But I figured you would like that. So without further ado, if you would like, we're going to try to do this. And I know modern technology can sometimes not be kind, but I am going to turn the floor over to you, Liale. I said that right?
Yeah.
That one? Okay, good. Got it. All right, we're learning.
I'm just going to try. I hear a little bit of like an echo still, so I'm going to try and disconnect or something really quick. Okay.
You got it. And if it doesn't work, I think, did we put the Instagram handle up before?
We did.
Yeah.
Okay, why don't we do it one more time? We're going to put it up again. If this doesn't work or you want to hear it with like the full effect, because it is really cool, you can always go to this Instagram page and check it out. It is on there. And if I'm not mistaken, did I see Andre Reed, the famous receiver from the Bills, commented on it?
Yeah, we got a couple really cool comments, but Andre Reed was one of them. Yeah.
So when you perform at the halftime show?
Yes, that's what.
Let's go.
I mean, I got another one coming for playoffs this weekend. I'm putting something together. It's a little different, but pretty excited to release that too.
Well, if Madonna or Maroon 5, I don't know who they have booked this year with the Super Bowl with everything going on with COVID. If they back out, it could be you. They could just live stream you in from your bedroom right there.
I'm cool with that.
Football theme song. We're back on Sunday night.
Right.
That could be.
You could be the new Carrie Underwood. Unlike when the Bills play on Sunday night. There you are from your bedroom throwing down beats. I love it.
Throwing down bars.
So the floor is yours, Liale. If you want to go ahead and do your Buffalo Bills rap, we're all ears.
Okay, cool. I'm just gonna. All right. 11-3, and now you want to be a part of it. Everybody doubted, but we never regarded it. I warned you in April, told you we would come in different. Allen Days 2020, yeah, we feeling significant. Even Pro Football Focus had something to say. Now we breaking all these records like it's just another day. Let him do the dancing. We talked through our play. Got the best coach alive, Sean, take it away. And I told you Belichick couldn't do it alone. AFC East chance, baby, give us the throne. D stay locked because we stay in the zone. BZ Poyer, Hyde, White, everybody is shown. And we beating all the teams that you never expected. Josh bossed up, so you got to respect it. Got the most loyal fans, man. I'm telling you, check it. It's a tight-knit city. Yeah, we keep it connected. 4 for the ones who close the door, swore we lose and ask for more. Smooth breaking the score. 3, you know you can't disagree because we killing all the comp like it's third degree. 2, to always rep the red and blue. If they say that we can't, we make sure we do. 1, a reminder that we just begun. Yeah, you know what we say, baby. 1 not done.
I mean, outstanding.
Bars.
I mean, and actually, it came through well with the sound. It was excellent. So before we let you go, again, we're going to leave the Instagram handle up if you want to see that performance with the little bit of background music, although you certainly didn't need it. That was excellent.
Yeah.
You can always check out your page, and I'm going to assume when you do the playoff version, will it be up there later this week?
Yeah, hoping for Friday.
Okay, right.
We
Yeah,
might need an encore. We might need an encore.
Well, you know what? We will stay in touch. We'll see how the Bills keep going, and if you have a deep playoff run here, which I hope you do, and you have some new stuff coming out throughout the playoffs, you're more than welcome to come on in the next few weeks. All right.
Awesome. Thank you so much for having me.
Thanks, Liale. Take care. Good luck to your Bills.
Thanks. You too.
See you. Take care. So that was a cool guest. I mean, you know,
musical artists on the show.
You never know with our stupidity what type of guest, like
genius, with our genius.
With what we're gonna have. Like, we could have her on one week. We could have a hockey expert. We could have
Brandon.
we could have Brandon,
old man who bets.
You never know until you tune in.
Favali up in Syracuse.
You know, someone asked me. I forgot to tell you this because you and I didn't really talk the past week. Somebody asked me last week, I think it was last week, about like, I don't understand how you guys get guests. Like, it's so like sporadic. I don't know. Like, I tune in, I don't know what I'm going to get. And I'm like, yeah, that's kind of what we try and do.
Yeah,
you know,
it's a variety show.
We are. You never know. So, well, we wish Liale luck with her Buffalo Bills this weekend against Indianapolis. They are the first game to kick off the postseason, which is cool. And that was really cool. And the audio there worked fine. Actually, I thought it worked.
So
You guys know at home or on the radio in your car and Spotify and iTunes. You know more than us. So let's see. Before we go, a couple of reminders. Next week, we will have our regular show. With this show, and again, who knows what kind of guests we'll have. We also will be doing, by request, a New York Rangers preview show. We will have, it won't be 100% Rangers, but it'll be like 97% Rangers, but I will make sure to get other stuff in. You can email us your questions for the show. I've gotten some already at mypbshow@gmail.com. I'm going to say it again for those not watching with it across the screen. That is mypbshow@gmail.com. You can reach us there anytime and fire in your questions, either hockey related for the hockey preview show next week or the regular Mind Your Puckin' Business podcast.
Awesome.
Sound like a plan?
Sounds like a real good
next
plan.
week, I have the privilege and honor to be with you double the amount. And we're going to attempt, which is probably not smart, we're going to attempt to do these shows back to back, which just means should be an interesting day.
Hopefully technology allows us.
Well, yes. Well, not even that. Hopefully, like, we have the stamina.
We got the stamina.
Speaking of stamina, we talked on the show, and I didn't know we talked about this. Someone mentioned it to me on Saturday when I saw him. They said, "Oh, I listened to the show and I heard you're reffing youth hockey games now." Did I mentioned it?
I think you said that.
I must have, because he said he heard it on the show. I have my first assignment this weekend.
Wow!
I have 2 games.
So official too. I got my first assignment.
Yes, I did. I have 2 games back to back. So this will be the first time I skated since March, when the place I'd played hockey.
You got to tell me what and where.
Yeah.
I'm bringing cameras.
And worst even possible situation, I have back-to-back games. So I am expecting on Sunday to not be able to get out of bed.
Mission for like 2 days.
I mean,
my legs on Wednesday.
Yeah,
like 2 days rest.
They can wheel me into the studio in the back door here, and they'll wheel me in to do the show.
Nice.
And I'll have to do 2.
Yeah,
should be fun.
You're gonna be in shape after that week.
I will.
Like you should just keep it going. Like,
well,
just
I hope I get more games.
start running miles after that.
Let's not get ahead of ourselves. I tried. You know what I did? It's kind of embarrassing, but it's typical me. I said like 2 weeks ago that I was going to start running again. Now, every time I have said in my life I'm going to start running, I do it for maybe 3 days, and then I don't do it for like 9 months. I said I was going to run. Last week, I have these like Bluetooth headphones. They were dead. I brought them to I plugged in. I stole I didn't steal. I took my daughter's charger for something else she uses that was the same wire. And my headphones didn't charge. So I was like, oh, that's weird. So I brought them to the office yesterday with a regular charger. I got them charged, I thought. Went home. Last night I went to put it on. I'm like, why are these damn things not working? I didn't realize like on the side of the headphones, like if you're watching the show, like over here, there's a battery. There's no battery in it. It must have fallen out some point over the last year. It's like completely, there's a hole.
Oh man.
I wonder why it didn't charge. So therefore I have an excuse not to run because I don't have
those. You got those headphones.
I do. Well, these headphones don't work, I don't think, Bluetooth for like
probably
my
not.
if I was running.
Your phone's too technology advanced. Doesn't have an outlet. Doesn't have a
It's
hole.
annoying. They don't. It's not. And I have like a 3-year-old iPhone, so let's not pretend like I'm rolling around here with technology.
I will tell you this: the first 3 weeks of any type of exercise is excruciating. So, like, if you're not having fun in the first couple days, give yourself 2 weeks. 2 weeks is like the
yeah.
hump.
Well, you know what? I mean, the exercise that I would do, which doesn't feel like exercise and it's great cardio, is I'd play hockey. I'd play in a hockey league, but I can't really do
I
that.
play basketball all day. I go to the gym and play pickup all day. You want me to run a mile? I'm like, come on, man.
Yeah. Well, you're like everybody else, and this is the time of year where everyone's like, "Oh yeah, I'm gonna get in shape. New me, new you." And as we said last week, I'm sorry to say we were right. For all you people that were like, you know what, 2020. Peace out. Now 2021 is gonna be much better. You know, when midnight hit on Friday or whatever New Year's Eve was, and my kids were up, which was shocking, by the way, and a little bit scary too. When midnight hit, man, those problems were still here.
Yeah.
So enough with
still no stimulus check.
Yeah. Still no stimulus check and a slow rollout of a vaccine program. So, yeah, that's where we are. But in any event, we thank you for tuning in as always. Again, next week, we're coming at you with 2 shows. Cross your fingers for us with that. And Happy New Year, wherever you're listening from. We appreciate it as always. Get your questions in for next week. Enjoy 6 NFL playoff games this weekend.
Wow.
Yes. We're talking good stuff. And we will see you on the flip side next week as we get ready for divisional round weekend. We will be down next week when we are on the regular show down to just 8 football teams left. So we are getting there to the finale. Yeah. Anything from you, Dougie Sticks, before we say adieu for the week?
I do. That was good. Good episode.
Good episode. And we thank Leali again from up in the outer skirts of Buffalo for her performance. That was really cool. And again, check out her page, and hopefully she'll be back with us. Maybe she'll be like our own Super Bowl halftime show.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, that'd be cool. Well, thanks for tuning in. We'll see you on the flip side next week. Have a good week, everybody.